What's up, brand builders? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn about personal branding and personal brand strategy so you can manage the perceptions that is your personal brand and develop an asset that will open doors for years to come. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands through strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and you'll be well on your way. Now, the old saying goes, brand or be branded. And your personal brand is actually an asset that you can develop. Now, whether you know it or not, whether you realize it or not, you actually have a personal brand at the moment. So with your friends, you have a brand. With your acquaintances, you have a brand. Maybe even with your exes, you have a brand, but essentially your brand is your reputation. So if you understand that your brand is your reputation and you know that that is a reputation that you can manage, well then when it comes to your personal brand, you can actually develop an asset that will facilitate your success for years to come. So in this video, I'm going to give you an 8-step process that you can use to build your personal brand that can shape perceptions and open some doors. Step number 1, determine your goals. Now, this is going to be different for everybody. Maybe you're in your 40s and you've developed a business brand and you want a personal brand to help you build that business brand. Or maybe you're in your early 20s and you're starting out in your career and you want to build a personal brand that can help you open doors in your 20s, in your 30s, and later on in your 40s. It really depends on the individual. But for you yourself, you need to know what your goals are. What is it that you're trying to achieve? When are you trying to achieve it by? If you have clarity in the goals that you want to achieve, well, then that will facilitate how you develop your brand. Now, the beauty about a personal brand is that your goals can change. Anything that you decide that you want to achieve now can change. You might achieve your goals in 5 years' time or 10 years' time and then pivot and decide that you want to do something different. That is the beauty of a personal brand. It is flexible, but it is really important that you have some goals starting out so you have that clarity in direction. Step number 2, uncover your audience. Now, you do this in a very similar way to the way you would uncover your audience for a business brand, but it's a little bit different with your personal brand. You're not necessarily uncovering who your audience is for a product or a service. What you're trying to do is you're trying to determine exactly who you want to help. Who is it that you want to add value to? What are those people's lives like and what problems do they have? If you understand what your goals are and why you want to build a personal brand, then that will help you to uncover who it is that you're trying to help, who it is that you're trying to add value to. Step number 3, analyze your peers. Now, in business branding, this section is all about analyzing who your competitors are. These are your direct competitors, your indirect competitors, those who would take your would-be customers away from you. But when it comes to personal branding, you need to look at this differently. These are your peers. Now, these people might already be helping the people that you want to help, but that doesn't mean that they are your direct competitors or your indirect competitors. When it comes to building a personal brand, it's all about relationships. And if you're able to build relationships with those would-be peers who would otherwise be seen as your competitors, then that can facilitate the growth of your own brand. So the advantage here is that you're building relationships, you're extending your network, and that association with these other influencers, with these other people who are helping those who you want to help is good for your brand. It elevates your brand, it elevates your personal brand profile. Step number 4, define your difference. Now, within business branding, your differentiation strategy is the reason that you would give your audience to choose your brand over your competitor's brand. But again, when it comes to personal branding, it's a little bit different. Your differentiation strategy is all about why your audience would listen to you. That doesn't mean that they need to listen to you instead of other people. It's just giving them a reason that they would listen to you. And this is all about how you deliver your content. What is your unique perspective, your unique personality, your unique voice? And this is your differentiation strategy as a personal brand, your unique voice. How is it that you deliver content? How you deliver your unique perspective? If you just go out there and blurt out the same thing that everybody else is blurting out, then there's nothing unique about you. And you really need to take the time with this. When you define a differentiation strategy for a business brand, you find something that is unique and you go out and develop your message around that unique point. But when it comes to defining your own differentiation strategy as a personal brand, that takes a little bit of work. You really need to work on yourself. You need to find your own perspective. You need to find your own personal opinion within your marketplace, and you need to develop your personality. You need to take time to develop out that personality and be confident being you. So this step is all about defining why your audience would listen to you. And that is all about finding your unique voice and your unique perspective. Step number 5, identify attributes and lean in. Now, when it comes to business branding, personality is big and it's becoming even bigger. And there's a reason for this. And that is the understanding now from business brands that people do business with people. They relate to other people through human characteristics, and they relate to brands now through human characteristics. Consumers are demanding more from brands to speak to them like a human. So that's why you're seeing business brands now evolve into these brand personas and human entities. But when it comes to your own personal brand, your brand personality is not something that you create out of thin air. You're not trying to create something that's not there, because that's inauthentic, and you really don't want to be inauthentic today. People can spot BS a mile away, so you really need to work on being yourself. So this really is about developing out your own personality and really taking the time to be more comfortable with who you are and the attributes that you have. So you need to define the attributes that you see within yourself that will appeal to who you're trying to help, and then lean into those attributes and develop those attributes out and be more comfortable delivering those attributes. Step number 6, work towards being your most authentic self. Now, this is a big one. Brand personality and brand authenticity is becoming more and more important, because we don't like phonies and fakes and people who put on a facade. We don't like it on a day-to-day basis with the people that we meet, and we don't like it within business or within brands either. We relate to people and we gravitate towards people who are themselves, who really show themselves and show their true authentic side. So if you're able to show that you're a real person, then you will be more relatable. People will gravitate towards you more. Now, this again takes a little bit of work. Like everything in personal branding, it takes a bit of work being more comfortable with who you are, because it's yourself that you need to give to other people. You're not trying to create something that's not there. You're really trying to be more comfortable with who you are and then delivering that in an authentic way. So as I said, this does take a little bit of time, and you give more and more of yourself over time. You don't just go and give 100% of yourself straight away. So even today, if you think about it, if you have a boss, you will be maybe 60 to 70% authentic with your boss. But when it comes to your best friend, maybe you're 99% authentic. So there is a level of authenticity, and you need to find the right balance for you. And that's only going to come with time. You're going to start off with a lower percentage of authenticity. The more confidence and conviction you build, the more that will start to clock up. And you need to find a balance of where the right level of authenticity is for your personal brand, so your audience can feel who you are and they can relate to who you are. Step number 7, give value. So this step, as I said, it's all about giving value. So forget here about sales techniques and marketing funnels and calls to action. Gary Vee wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And that's about the idea that you give, and then you ask. But this step is all about giving. It's not about asking. It's not about calls to action. It's not about saying, hey, DM me for this. If you want to build your personal brand, then you will do that by people seeing you being valuable. So go into your marketplace, go onto social media, go onto those groups where these people that you've identified are that you want to help, and start giving value. Start helping them. Comment on their posts. Tell them how you can help them, give them strategies of what they can use, and really go out there and give your experience and give value. So this step is really all about those jabs. It's all about jab, 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 jab. Forget about the right hook, forget about the ask, forget about the DM, just go out and help people. So deliver value, comment, like, share, and give value as well through articles, through videos, through social media posts, interesting carousels. Really take the time to understand what it is that these people that you want to help need, understand their problems, and go out and help them with those problems. And step number 8, collaborate with your peers. Now, this is truly unique to the personal branding side of things. You're not doing this on the business brand side of things. You don't take a list of your competitors and then start reaching out to the CEOs and developing those relationships. At least on a general basis, that's not what happens. But when it comes to personal brands, that is exactly what you want to do. You want to take a list of all of those people and start getting to know them. Now, this does not mean you take a list of those people and you start cold emailing them and reaching out and saying, do you want to be friends or do you want to collaborate? No, this is all about identifying who they are, identifying their social channels, and looking for their content, commenting, liking, sharing their content. And over time, what will happen is they will see your name time and again. They might even start to engage with you on the comments on their posts, and they will start to feel like they know who you are. Now, they might not have ever met you, but when your name comes up, they will know who you are. You will start to build that reputation. And as I said, your reputation is your brand. So take the time to develop out these individual relationships. And when the time comes for an opportunity to collaborate, you won't be a cold lead. You won't be a cold person. They won't be seeing you for the first time. They'll feel that they know who you are, and they'll feel that element of trust, and they will be far more likely to do business with you. Now, the best time to start a personal brand was last year. The second best time to start a personal brand is right now. And if you are thinking about starting a personal brand, if you are thinking about building a personal brand for yourself, then know this: your personal brand already exists. It's a question of whether or not you're going to take the time to develop it and nurture it into an asset that's valuable. So if you are, well, then follow these 8 steps. Really take the time to identify what it is that you want to achieve, who it is that you want to help, how you're going to be different, how you're going to engage, and how you're going to go out there and create value. If you really take a strategic approach to building your brand, then you can develop an asset that will open doors for years to come. But I'd love to hear from you about your experiences when it comes to personal branding. Have you taken the time? Did you start your brand last year and have you developed into something valuable? Are you starting your personal brand right now, and are you coming across some challenges or some difficulties? If you do have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer all of those. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. If you want actionable brand strategy tips and techniques just like this one, head on over to BrandMasterAcademy.com and get yourself signed up for the list. It's free and I keep some exclusive content for that list as well, so get yourself involved. There's also some very valuable downloads on there. If you want to build brand strategies from scratch, those downloads will help you do that, so get yourself involved. But as I said, I would love to hand it back over to you now. I would love to hear from you about your challenges, about your experiences. As I said, I'll do my best to answer all of those. Until next time, brand like a master, and I will see you in the next video.